Alright. I have 8,124 songs on my iTunes, and I'm sure lots of people have more than that, some have less. But I think it's safe to say that I've not paid for all these songs. And I think a lot of you are in the same boat with that also. And so I'm sure everyone here knows that downloading music off the internet is illegal. But I'm sure not that many people know how extreme the penalties are. So through my research, I've determined that the consequences of illegal downloading are way too severe, and even though it necessarily shouldn't be made illegal, the penalties need to be reduced. I'll explain this through showing examples of people who've been caught and the penalties they've received, the rules of punishments and why they're too harsh, and some alternatives to better the current system. So basically, you need to pay attention because I'm sure all this pertains to you. So here are a few examples. Citing Boston.com, a Boston University grad student had to pay 4 different companies $675,000 for downloading 30 songs at a total of $22,500 per song. According to CNN.com, a 30-year-old woman from Minnesota had to pay $1.9 million, which ended up being $80,000 for a song. And lastly, a Mesa State student who only made $15,600 in the year of 2007 allegedly downloaded 807 audio files, giving him the maximum fine of $150,000 per song, equaling a total of $121.8 million in fines if found guilty. So, according to the Record Industry Association of America, a minimum of $750 to a maximum of $150,000 in fines can be charged if you are found guilty of downloading songs illegally. So even if you're charged the minimum of $750 for say 10 albums or 100 songs, you're going to be charged more than the typical American makes in a year. The average song from iTunes is only $1. And if you stole a $1 candy bar from a store, you are rarely, if ever, going to be charged $750 in order to replace this. Basically, the punishment does not fit the crime. So some simple ways to better the system would be, 1, just reduce the punishment. It seems obvious that stealing a digital file should correlate to stealing something physical. Something needs to be done in the field of the internet, such as sites like YouTube and Pandora, because here you can listen to all the free music you want to, and basically the music industry is losing money, and one of the main problems is the internet, and this is a big problem that's going to persist in the future. And the music industries, what's going to most likely happen in the future is that the music industries will partner up with a streaming company, and you'll have to pay a small fee or it's a smaller fee to get the music you want in order to fix this. And the reason some of these penalties are so harsh is because it's not the actual artists themselves who are losing the money, it's the record industries. And since they're losing so much money, they want to put the harsh penalties on. Artists really make most of their money from touring through merchandise and concert sales. So it really wouldn't be that terrible to lessen the penalties for stealing music, because it's not hurting the artists very much. It's not hurting the actual creators of the music. So it's clear to me that the penalties need to be reduced for illegal downloading. I've mentioned people who have been caught, the punishments they received, and why they've been way too cruel, where the punishments come from, in some ways that the system can be bettered. If penalties do not become less soon, who knows what could happen. You could be sitting at your friend's house listening to some music, and all of a sudden, people bust in and arrest your friend for downloading too many files.